We're here today to talk about science for research, research for innovation behind new technologies, and technology development that leads to high-tech jobs. Slow down, Jay. Science-based initiative drives economic growth and helps America compete in the global economy. For centuries, innovation has made this country's global economics at the forefront. From the steam engine driving the Industrial Revolution to computers and networks powering the Internet revolution. But we cannot take that leadership for granted because we see things slipping away from us. At a time when the economy continues to struggle, our future depends on the investments that we make today to keep our nation competitive and ensure that our communities' long-term economic security and prosperity will be fine. 5 years ago, the National Academy reported rising above the gathering storm. They sounded the alarm that U.S. leadership in science and technology was eroding. It was shocking, and it was true, and is. And so Congress responded in 2007 with the America Competes Act, landmark legislation to increase national investment in research and development and in science, technology, engineering, and math education, popularly known as STEM. Dr. Holden, I want to tell you, one of the best experiences I've had in years, I had last week in West Virginia. And I drove an hour and a half to Parkersburg in Wood County, and I sat down for 3 hours, no press, nobody knew I was there, with 6 teachers teaching science, technology, engineering, or math, in some cases 2. And there's the whole discussion, why they got into it, why they stay into it, how do they find the button in the student that has it but doesn't know it, or is inattentive because of problems at home or whatever. But just talking with these teachers, one, it gave you the sense of the power of the profession to change lives, why it is so important, and then particularly in these areas. I floated back to Charleston, West Virginia. I was so happy and so proud of those folks. So I ended on STEM education. Now the legislation is set to expire this year. And as we know, as we look towards reauthorization, we need to evaluate our progress since the law was passed. President Obama began his presidency with a call to, quote, restore science to its rightful place. He has followed through on that promise with proposed funding increases in science, technology, and innovation, and STEM education. And we also made a significant investment with last year's Recovery Act. Research institutions across the country have received the kind of grants and awards that will allow them to jumpstart new projects and hire new employees. I know West Virginia colleges and universities have already received nearly $29 million to continue their important work in West Virginia. That's major money. But we have a lot more to do, and we need to look even further down the road at the same time. And in this very difficult budgetary climate, I agree with the President's focus on research investments in STEM education. I do also notice that it's sort of a soft, flat line, which always gives me hope. We may not see the immediate payoff from these budget increases, but the long-term dividends will be immeasurable. A world-class STEM workforce is fundamental to addressing the challenges of the 21st century, from developing clean sources of energy that reduce our dependence on foreign oil to discovering cures for endless numbers of diseases. And very importantly, it also means a lot of jobs. Projections from the Bureau of Labor Statistics indicate that over 80% of the fastest growing occupations depend on knowledge of mathematics and science. We simply cannot afford to continue jeopardizing our nation's future by failing to invest today. So, in closing, this hearing is an opportunity to examine how and where we are making those investments as we consider the path ahead and what more needs to be done. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.